Hi, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Academy. And today we are talking about print on demand. So this is the eCom Sellers Academy print on demand workshop. And I am your host, Ms. Nicole Whitlock. And we're going to be covering print on demand today. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm the co-founder and creator of eCom Sellers and all things eCom Sellers related. I've been selling online since around 2014, selling offline since 2008. I've done a lot of things, sold a lot of products offline and online just to raise money for my two special needs kids for their therapies. They are older now, but they are still in school. And I have been on this journey selling e-commerce, selling, I guess, on different platforms, many different platforms, for a while to cover their ABA, their speech, their OT, all of those things to help them to become the best versions of themselves as they grow up. So that's why I do e-commerce. I'm going to make some assumptions in this workshop. It's being taught from a new seller perspective. So the assumption is you don't know anything about print on demand. So we're going to talk about it from that perspective. And so this is a two-part series. Hopefully you'll tune in for part two. Some of the strategies that are listed in this workshop can be used on multiple platforms or in multiple selling methods. So it's not, some of it is not just a print on demand thing. Some of it may be, you could use it in other methods or approaches to e-commerce. So by the end of this workshop, you'll know what print on demand is, how to get started, how to find providers, how to create art, and how to find products to sell. All right. So things to keep in mind as part of this workshop. This is, of course, your business always. Oops, let me go backwards. So since this is your business, we want you to always keep that in mind, that the goal is that you always take ownership of everything that's happening in your business, good, bad, or indifferent, that all the decisions are made by you. The business thrives because of your actions or does not thrive because of your actions. And there are some things in your business that are out of your control, but again, if you focus on it, you can achieve a lot of things in your business. We encourage you to build a budget for your business. Print on demand is one of the greatest ways to get started, but you will have to spend some money. We also encourage you to establish a real work schedule, always. So if you have not already done so, we encourage you to grab the eCom planner. It can help you to build a real work schedule. Whatever strategies that we talk about today or any other time that we teach anything in eCom Sellers Academy, we always encourage you to try those strategies for at least 3 to 6 months. So plan what you're going to be sourcing for the next 3 to 6 months. And also any new e-commerce method or approach that you try, give it 3 to 6 months before you decide it's not for you. And consistency is always the key to your success. Consistently doing the right things in your business to help you to grow it is always going to help your business to thrive. So be consistent, build a real work schedule. So what is print on demand? Print on demand, also known as POD. You'll hear us say POD sometimes. And let me just say this, POD, when you look it up, it actually has to do with podcasts now. Like it used to be print on demand, and now POD, the term, has taken over for podcasts. But in any case, POD is print on demand for all of us old schoolers. And it's a process where you work with a supplier to customize a white label product. Now, you know, sometimes you don't necessarily work with a supplier, like you come up with your own design and you superimpose that amazing design onto a product, white label product. It could be a hat, it could be a tote bag, it could be a t-shirt, it could be a pair of shoes. And so with that, you're designing your own, you're creating your own design to put onto a product. And those products are sold per order. So in other words, it is not made until someone purchases it. Once someone purchases it, then that product is produced. So you don't pay for the product until after you've actually sold it, which means it's a great way to get started. And there's no need to buy bulk inventory or hold any inventory. There are times where it makes sense to print a bunch of stuff in advance, but there are other times, like if you have a product that's selling like crazy, then yeah, you might want to print a whole bunch of it. But when you first start off in print on demand, it doesn't make any sense to do that. So why do print on demand? Well, the first thing is it is easy to set up. You're literally going to go to a website where they allow you to upload your designs. You're going to see mock-ups of your design on something. They're going to have some guidelines around that design, of course. And guidelines meaning how wide, how big it is, that it has to be a PNG file. There's going to be some guidelines. Each platform has a list of guidelines that they want you to follow. And there's a low startup cost. So you don't spend a lot of money when it comes to print on demand to get started. Some of the platforms may have platform fees, but others do not. Like you design, and then once the item sells, then they take their fee. So you need to keep that in mind. There's no inventory management, one of the greatest things. Now, I'm going to say that with an asterisk, because you should always know how many print on demand designs you have out there in the universe. So there is some level of inventory management, but there is no physical inventory management. So there really is some inventory management, because, you know, if you've got 50 designs out there, you need to know that. If you've got 2,000 designs out there, you need to know that too. So each one of the platforms, if you're designing on multiple platforms, you really should know how many designs you have out there. And again, you don't have a physical product that you have to worry about inventory management for. You have the ability to customize. So you literally could take one design and modify it multiple times to customize it each time. And that's a great way to split test products. Like you can split test products to see which one is getting more traction, which one people are looking for the most, which ones people are buying the most. So that leads into scale and test with no risk. So again, you can split test, put up two different designs. I use an example of maybe there's some cute little puppy pictures or something, puppy design. And not that you have to do anything that intricate, but you could have a cute little puppy design, and maybe it's a similar puppies, but they're in two different positions. And so maybe one is a black and white and it's an ink drawing, you know, pencil drawing, and it's superimposed onto a shirt. And the other one is like a color photo, and it's the same dog or puppy or in a similar position, and it's a color photo. One might sell better than the other. The one that's the pencil drawing that's superimposed onto the shirt may actually sell better than the actual photo. But again, you could put both of those up, see which one gets sales more, then take the other one down, or you can leave it up. You can decide. But the great thing is that you can test a bunch of different things, and you don't have to worry about the cost of that. In the real world, when you're working on things like bundles and stuff like that, like you have to be prepared to spend money if you're testing different samples. Switch out the blue ones for the red ones or whatever it happens to be. You're like, okay, that's going to cost you money. So with print on demand, you don't have to spend that money. And yes, you can make print on demand bundles. So getting started, the first thing before you even do anything is that you really do need to do some keyword research. Go out there, see which print on demand designs are selling on different platforms. You can start with Amazon as your search source. You can start with Amazon as your source to do some of your research. You can do free research on Amazon. Just go and look at some of the Amazon merch products and just go see which ones, what the seller rank is for some of those products. And as you do that research, be like, okay, I keep that in mind. But do some keyword research and see which products are moving. Do some keyword research. There's different tools you can use. Keyword Planner within Google is a good one. Keywords Everywhere is another great tool. So as you're doing that keyword research, again, see which keywords are the words that people are searching for the most. The next thing is to figure out your niche. So you maybe the keywords that are selling are, I'm trying to think, this is the beginning of the year. So I'm trying to think. We're past New Year's, but right now people are trying to get organized. So sometimes people want to eat healthier. They want to lose weight. So maybe you have some kind of quote around weight loss. I think I've heard this quote all the time, like nothing tastes as good as skinny feels or something like that. So that's a common quote. All right. And maybe that quote, and there's a picture maybe of a lady that you like get images. And so you have a picture of a lady. So you do some research on the keywords first. Maybe the keyword is weight loss. And so the niche is inside of weight loss. Go see what other products are out there available to be sold in the weight loss niche. So they might have workout clothes and leggings and tennis shoes and socks and bras and workout bras and all kinds of stuff like that. Hats, things like that. So go see what products are available. Then get your design. So pull your designs together and get your website ready. If you're going to sell on your own website, that's great. If you're going to sell on another platform, that's fine as well. You can do either one. You don't have to sell on your own website. You can sell on other platforms, or you can do both. Okay, so choose your print provider. Who are you going to go with? So if one platform is selling, like allowing you to superimpose your design on leggings, and another platform is too, maybe you check out what the fees are. What are the delivery times for that platform? Figure out what's happening with that platform and how much, what your commission is going to be when this thing sells, if they're going to do the print. So know that the cost and the amount of commission you're going to receive for whatever products you decide you are going to sell in print on demand is going to vary from platform to platform. Some of them are very close in price and some of them are not. So you're going to have to do that research. And so add those products to the site and create your design. And then from there, you can promote those particular products. You can promote them on your own store. If you decide you're going to create your own store, maybe your store is around weight loss, you could create a Shopify store, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and other Wix, Weebly, whatever works for you. Trying to think of the other one. Squarespace, I think, is another one. Or you can sell on existing platforms that are already out there. So existing platforms like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, and any other platforms that will allow you to put print on demand designs up. So you can start selling your products on those platforms. But the first thing you need to do is you need to go figure out which keywords are people searching the most right now. And then from there, figure out what your niche is going to be, what your focus is going to be. Maybe there's some print on demand designs that you can pull together for Valentine's Day. You can decide what that quote, saying, image is going to be. And then what are you going to superimpose that onto? What are the products? So the list of suppliers, who are they and where can I get designs? So let's start with suppliers. So there are a lot of print on demand. This is not all of them by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a lot of print on demand suppliers out there that you can create accounts and upload your designs to their site. Some of them have a great product selection that you can put your design on, and others have a limited product selection that you can put your design on. So Printful and Printify have quite a decent selection where you can put your design onto it. And know that there are so many different types of print on demand, like there's even print on demand jewelry. Okay, and some people don't even realize that, print on demand jewelry. So there's a lot of different print on demand options that are out there. Or with merch, like there's only so many things that you can put that design on. And so merch, which is Amazon, you have some guidelines you have to follow, whereas you might have a little more freedom and flexibility on some of the other platforms. That doesn't mean that you don't put your design everywhere. It just means that you might have a little more flexibility on some of the other platforms versus Amazon merch. Now we know that Amazon is, the GOAT when it comes to platforms where you can list products. So don't overlook the opportunity to establish a merch account. But again, go through that process. The other thing is local suppliers. So if you go with local suppliers, you are going to have to spend some money. Okay, so we talked about low cost, but with local suppliers, they're going to want some volume. It's going to be rare that they're going to actually do a print on demand kind of method because of the fact that they are local and they're going to sell volume. They're probably not going to print one design at a time. But again, you can always ask if they have a fulfillment process that can be automated and that people can find your design on your site. You can do an integration with that supplier and then have your orders fulfilled through that supplier. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but you need to think about that. And then design. So what tools are you going to use to create your design? A design can be something as simple as words. It can actually be some type of art design where you're like doing a pencil sketch of something or drawing something. It could be a combination of words and an image, or it can be abstract. And so it could be any number of those things. Design is design is design. It could be something as simple as straight lines, stripes, polka dots, that kind of stuff. So what tools could you use to create your design? And I also have it listed as designers, but you can use these to create your designs and or find designers to create stuff for you. So Adobe Spark, Canva, PicMonkey, all of those, and there's a few others, they will allow you to create designs on using their tool. The great thing, like with Canva, you can change the font on different things, and just the changing of the font takes the same saying and makes it look completely different. So those are design tools, and going all the way down to Snappa, Stencil, BeFunky, that kind of stuff. And then the creative market, Upwork, Fiverr, Design Pickle, Floxy, Graphic Rhythm, like those are all designers. So about the first 6 in this image or this PowerPoint, the slide, is design tools, and the bottom 6 are designers. Now, if you're going to go with a designer, you are going to spend some money. So keep that in mind. And some of them will just sell you the designs so that you have those designs available to you to superimpose onto products. So basically, they sell designs and they don't do a lot of print on demand themselves. And that's fine as well. So you can buy designs. Just know that if you buy designs, other people could be selling the same design, like superimpose that design on something else. So you're selling it maybe on a t-shirt on one platform, and then another platform, somebody's selling it on a hat or some socks or something like that. So you want to keep that in mind. And then print on demand ideas. People are always saying, what can I do with print on demand? What can I make? Okay. So let me just start with, I didn't even put, this is not a full list. First of all, this is not a full list. One of the things that you can do is you can publish your own book, print on demand book. Okay. I didn't mention KDP as well. So there's merch, which is physical merchandise, and then there's KDP, which is also print on demand. It's also Amazon. So KDP should be on the list of suppliers as well. Because if you want to print books, you can use them, calendars and notebooks and stuff like that. So ideas. One is a book. You can sell a book or print on demand. Socks, throw pillows, fitness leggings, artwork, beach towels, coffee mugs, stickers, notebooks, cards, water bottles. That's a lot of stuff. Hats, backpacks, embroidered shirts, embroidered anything. Like you do embroidered blanket if you wanted to. T-shirts, phone cases, device covers, like an iPad cover and stuff like that. Wrapping paper. So you can create paper with designs on it. Pictures, blankets, and shoes. This is not an inclusive list as well. So there's so many different products, white label products. White label is just like a plain whatever, plain pair of socks, plain t-shirt, plain leggings, and then they superimpose your design on it, okay? So go do the research, go back to some of these sites, go see what products are available on those sites so that you can superimpose your design on those products. Okay. So some things to keep in mind. One, only add a maximum of up to 5 color variants to your product. One or two, one of the biggest things is black and white sells all day long. Black and white, meaning just black letters on a white coffee mug. They've got all kinds of sayings that they put on the coffee mugs. So I have a coffee mug on my desk that says, I don't give a sip. And so it's a coffee mug that's sitting on my desk, and it's just black letters on a white coffee mug that says, I don't give a sip. It's simple. So you don't always need a lot of different colors to sell your print on demand designs. Sometimes just 2 colors or 1 color is sufficient. You can maybe the product itself, you can do different colors. So do a shirt that's with, I don't know, a pink shirt with black letters, a green shirt with black letters, whatever it happens to be, or choose different colors and use white letters. So there's all kinds of options, but again, maximum 5 color variants for your product, no more than 5. 2 is probably even better. Check your print on demand provider for options before selling internationally. You want to know if you're putting your stuff on a store or you put it on a platform, you say you're going to ship internationally, if they will actually ship internationally. And if they do, like, is there something extra you have to do? So for example, like on eBay, to do the global shipping, you have to set up your global shipping settings on eBay to be able to ship internationally, and everything's going to one location, blah, blah, blah. So different platforms have different guidelines. You want to make sure maybe you don't ship internationally for the stuff that you're making or that you're having, sold as print on demand. You can decide that. Make sure you have a credit card or money set aside. So again, until that money is released by that platform, let's say you had 100 sales, you were lucky. But again, those orders have to be paid for on the platform before that product is shipped to the customer. So if there's a direct integration to the platform, then the platform is going to get the money, or they'll get the money sometime soon. If there's not a direct integration, then you're going to have to go to that platform and pay for it and then get your money back when the platform releases your money. So you just have to keep that in mind. So just have some extra money set aside. Avoid copyrights and check to see if a written phrase is trademarked. Actually, just avoid copyrights and avoid brands. The best way to do that is to avoid brands. So if you avoid brands, you have your chances of you violating a copyright or trademark is less if you avoid brands, well-known brands, like Coca-Cola, like Disney. Don't get yourself in trouble. Copyrights, just remember, like, I am a huge Ted Lasso fan. And so I learned this at the last summit. Every single script that is spoken, like the words that are spoken in your favorite TV shows, all of those words are copyrighted, or in the sequence in which they are shared in the show, the sitcom, whatever. They are copyrighted because all of those writers are part of the Screen Actors Guild. And so they could sue you if you are putting quotes on t-shirts that are direct verbatim quotes of something from a show, because they write a script for the actors to read from. Don't get yourself in trouble. So variations of that are something that's not quite the same, or an implication of it, then you can, possibly get away with that. So remember, copyrights, brands, trademarks, don't get yourself in trouble. And if you violate any of these, the platforms that you're selling on, like Printful and Printify, they're going to kick you off the platform. Point blank, end of discussion. They're going to take the listing down because they're not ready to be sued. They don't want to be sued. They're not trying to be sued. So you need to keep that in mind. Have lifestyle images on your products, not just general mock-ups. So I used the example before of 2 puppies. One of the puppies is sketched in black and white. The other one is a color print. Some people will buy the color print. And so maybe it's a picture of a puppy that's superimposed on a hat or a pair of tennis shoes, or, some leggings or something, versus the ones that are sketched in the black and white. Both of the designs are probably amazing. But again, one's more of a lifestyle picture, or scenery, like putting scenery on a blanket or putting scenery on a calendar. Like, calendars are print on demand. Pillows, that kind of stuff. That is a nice picture. Don't just sell t-shirts. Please don't just sell t-shirts. Go look and see what other white label products are available to have a design superimposed on them. So don't just sell t-shirts. Check to see if your design can be printed on another product. Definitely. So maybe there's a quote or something that you come up with that you can put it on a coffee mug, put it on a mouse pad, put it on a hat, put it on a pair of tennis shoes, put it on a tote bag, put it on a backpack, put it on a pillow, put it on a blanket, put it on put it on a Canva, a canvas to hang on the wall, all of that stuff. So don't just think about one product. Add scarcity, but not to every product. So if you have your own Shopify store, one of the things you can do is you can say that this product is available for a limited time only, and you can do a countdown clock maybe of just that this product is only going to be available for a limited time. And so people are like, oh, okay. There's all kinds of products that are sold, but there's only a limited number made or a limited number in print. So this could be one of those things. And that may help you to generate more sales, especially if you did really, 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 really good keyword research. Check to see if your niche is banned on Facebook. Definitely check that. Or banned on any other platform. So, don't, like if you have a quote that includes cuss words or vulgar language, you might not want to go with that. Now, sometimes people replace that with like $, asterisk, and percent, exclamation mark, all of the above, like all of those things to represent cussing. So just don't get yourself in trouble. Do a little bit of research before you start putting it everywhere. Get some feedback from your family and friends, or just split test the stuff. Getting feedback from your family and friends when you're first starting your print on demand journey can actually be helpful as you develop designs. Or if you decide you're going to buy them, just know that other people may be buying the same design too. And so you may see it multiple places, multiple times. So here's a few ways to increase your sales on print on demand. Test your business idea, or just test whatever it is that you're planning on selling. Maybe you're going to go after selling a bunch of, let's see, what do people buy? So this time of year, like people might be buying notebooks. So test out the idea. Maybe there is a design that's specific for your notebook. Maybe your notebook's going to have a specific logo. And so you can test launch that particular idea with print on demand. Habit tracking notebooks are a big deal right now. Diet tracking notebooks, or fitness tracking notebooks, or Bible study notebooks, like all of these things that people are trying to keep track of or do better at. This is the time of year to do that. Monetize the audience that you've built. So you can create a Facebook group and you can monetize that monetize that audience. So in my example, I have a Facebook group now that has organically grown to like 3,000 people, I think, or something like that. And I'm just going to let it continue to grow. And then next year, we're going to be selling Ted Lasso inspired wrapping paper for Christmas. And we're going to sell out. And I don't know if sell out is a good phrase, but we're going to sell a lot of it. You need to know when you're selling products that you're going to be selling to a target audience. Like, make sure you're aware of how long it takes your print on demand supplier to fulfill an order or to print the design and to get it out the door. I can tell you during Q4, everything slows down. So instead of it taking, maybe they say, okay, 6 processing days or whatever, like it may actually be 10 processing days. You need to be prepared for that. You also need to be prepared for if you're going to do print on demand and you're listing your items on other platforms like Amazon or Walmart or whatever, what is their requirement for fulfilling an order? Because if you're not getting a print on demand tracking number for 10 days or 8 days, what is that going to do to your metrics for that platform? So these are things, I know it's not on your screen right now. So go back, rewatch this, and write that down if you're going to do print on demand, because that's going to be extremely important to know what is their processing times, how long does it take them to print something. Do a sample yourself, so then that way you at least have an idea, and then make sure that when you get closer to Q4 that you add some extra time and you check in with the print supplier to make sure that you have their processing times at least in mind. And don't list stuff on other platforms where on platforms where they demand that you upload a tracking number within 4 days or 2 days. Just don't do that because you're going to get yourself in trouble. Create original products for a niche always, all day long. Make sure it's original to the audience in which you are targeting, or it's unique enough. Because again, if you're selling the same thing everybody else is selling, then you're just all running in the same, you're all swimming in the same pond. But if it's unique enough, then you'll get some traction. Easily print one-off items. So you can print some one-offs. You can actually create bundles. If you can print it yourself and reduce the processing time for an item to be shipped, you could do that. But also keep in mind that printing some one-off items, you could bundle them together, or maybe you give a couple of them away, get some samples out there in the world and get some feedback from customers. That doesn't hurt either. Sell photos online. So if you've made an amazing design, or maybe you took some great photos and you were planning on putting it on a hat or a tote bag or something like that, there's so many sites in which you can sell your images and your photos right now. So take advantage of that as well. Selling your products, selling your images on other platforms or your photos. Print on demand is a mistake. So not buying from reputable sellers. Again, do some research on the print on demand supplier that you're potentially going to go with. See what their ratings are out in the universe. What are other sellers saying about them? What are other sellers frustrated about or happy about? So what's happening? Not talking to your supplier, definitely reach out to your supplier and talk to them. Contact their customer service. If they've got a chat, then go ahead and communicate with them through chat, especially if you did really great research and you know that this particular product is going to take off like crazy because it's a hot topic or a hot phrase or a hot whatever. The Chewbacca mom, she made a whole bunch of money off of, well, she became popular because of the Chewbacca mask. But again, superimposing something that's like a bunch of hair, not the Chewbacca, but something that's like very hairy and some crazy words on a shirt, like that could be a hot selling thing. So communicate with your supplier so that way you will have an idea, like, can they handle the kind of volume you think you might have coming through? Creating a general store and selling everything. If you niche down, you can target an audience and you get that audience that's really interested in what it is that you have to offer. So I talked about their puppy designs. Like there are people that really love cats, or they really love dogs, or they really love little babies, or they really love cars, or whatever it happens to be. So having a general store that has so many different varieties of things may not be where it's at. Or, putting, if your store is more about quotes, that's a good one to be able to sell a bunch of products. And so they know that they can come to your store and find, or your website or your listings, and they can find really good t-shirts or hats or socks or whatever that have great quotes on them, if that's the thing. Going after bestsellers. If you just go after bestsellers and you don't go out there and again, do some product research, do some keyword research before you do product research. See what's already moving. Is there something amazing that's already moving and you can actually convert that into something that is print on demand? Or what are the keyword, do the keyword research and then find what you can potentially sell. But going after bestsellers, again, if it's already saturated, if you're thinking of the idea, somebody else might be thinking of the idea. So it might become more saturated than you anticipate. Not focusing on repeat customers. Your goal is to get people to come back and buy your thing. So buy more of your thing. So if you are focused on a niche, and if they got a really great cat t-shirt, and then they got a really great cat hat, and they got a really great tote bag, and now they got some cat socks. Like this person is coming back to buy stuff because you have what they want, because you've honed in on the niche, the interest, what people really want. All right. So that's our first workshop for print on demand. If you're not already a member of eCom Sellers Academy, we want to invite you to join us. Come hang out with us. I hope this information is helpful. And this has been another episode of the eCom Sellers Academy Print on Demand Workshop Part 1.